What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place, the podcast, the YouTube channel that you go when you want action-packed content in the app business. And today, I'm super excited. We got to connect on LinkedIn. I was like, dude, you have to come on, please. I'm super excited that we're able to make it happen so quickly because he runs marketing for one of the biggest apps out there, 8Fit. And so when I saw it, I was like, dude, I got to talk to this guy. So we're going to talk all about user acquisition, what's working, what's not, subscriptions and all that other jazz, and his personal history, because it's very interesting to me that we got to talk before we hit record. But let me introduce the guest. His name is Saulo Marti. He is the VP of Marketing at 8Fit. Go check him out, 8fit.com, or in the app stores as well. Saulo, welcome to the show.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, I want to now reference the article that you wrote on Mobile Masterminds as well. And I won't go into all the details of it, so I'm going to link that up to the show notes, but definitely worth a read, mobilemasterminds.com. But Saulo, the first point that you talked about was first engagement is so key, or first encounter is so key. And you said that your paid ads were actually outperforming from a subscription conversion rate, the normal organics.
Yes. Yeah. So to me, it's kind of like our organics, we don't know exactly where they're coming from, right? Like they can be coming from referrals from a friend. Well, that's why they're organic. They can be coming from referrals from a friend. They can be coming from uplift from our campaigns. They can be like spillover effect. They can be coming from just general search and they found our app and never heard of it, never seen anything. So their point of reference for a lot of times might be a complete unknown. Whereas in the ads, they have a first point of reference. They clicked on it because it immediately, whatever it was that was on the ad, already resonated with them. So I know that we'll have campaigns that, depending on the message, will outperform our organic. And we'll have campaigns that, depending on the message, underperform the organic. So we use the organic as a benchmark almost, as like, does this resonate with users? Does this help them understand what we do and what they're going to get before they even get to the app store? And I think it's a good thing that we outperform our organic, in the sense that it means that we're already bringing in people who are likely to convert. And then because we're either targeting them correctly or because we are showcasing in our ad something that really interests them. So if you have the capabilities in your data to break up the organic between, for example, like referrals or something like that, or already your social followers, etc., then I would assume that those should perform better. But when we look at like all of our organic, then yeah.
I know Matt from Calm, he kind of talked about this. He said, he used ads and kind of like what you're referencing that would improve retention. He found that ads that showed off a little bit about the app would outperform from a retention perspective any other ads. What have you guys found from 8Fit?
So one thing that was really interesting was we did this test. I don't remember exactly when it was, but recently, that we were testing like 4 different types of messages that essentially they're very similar. So they're not that different. But for example, like improve your health, improve your shape, feel healthier, and feel leaner. So essentially it was feel versus improve. So kind of trying to understand, like, does the person want to feel, do they want to improve? And is it more about their physical, right? So the shape, leaner, or is it about health, healthier health, right?
You know the winner, Saulo?
I do know the winner.
Okay, can I guess?
Guess, please.
Okay. Feel leaner.
Feel leaner. No. That was actually feel leaner.
One?
Feel leaner was actually worst place. Yeah, it was actually the fourth one. You want to take a second guess?
No, because then it becomes too easy. I'm just going to go the complete opposite.
So basically, number 1 was feel healthier.
Oh, really? Okay.
Is great for us because that's what we want to resonate or that's what we want to push. Number 2, though, was improve shape, which was like, were like when we put them in a scale, these were the 2 polar opposites that we had. And then the other 2 in the middle were a little bit like, and then we said, okay, interesting that these are the 2 like top performers. And then we compared it to weight loss. And weight loss is, I think it depends in the market, but like it's outperforming, underperforming, but it's like on par. And it's interesting that we realize that people who want to feel healthier it does resonate more with them. It like, I don't think we have the retention metrics in yet to know if we've already improved our retention, but I know that we have more engagement. So it's like, it performs better. It's a better campaign. We're going to get more engagement. It's interesting, but this is the type of ad that burns out faster. So asking people to, like what I like to call is like the shelf life of the ad. The shelf life of this ad is shorter than, for example, lose weight, or for example, improve your shape or whatever. The reason is, I think that there's just a larger number of people that will click on lose weight, that will click on like, oh, I'm a little bit chubby, you know? Some of our competition, and without going into names, but like some of our competition do some really, really, really aggressive ads that we never want to do. We, from like a brand standpoint, we make that very, very clear. We are not going to do this, but I am certain that it's converting for them because they push it like crazy. But things like where it's like a drawing of a woman, like a female who is slightly overweight, very, very sad. Then all of a sudden the fat drops off her and she smiles. Like, that's really fucking aggressive. And it's really negative if you think about it.
Yeah.
But I'm certain that there's a ton of people who click on it because we're like, most people are from like a psychological standpoint, they would probably be ashamed to say that they clicked on it, but then like in the confines of like their own space and no one's looking, they're like, oh yeah, I need this. I don't need the one that's telling me like, you're going to feel better about yourself. I need the one that's like, cut your fat. Right. And then, cause it sounds like it's going to be easier. When in reality, it's not. Like, fitness is a journey. Like, this is a really key part of our messaging. Fitness is a journey. You're not gonna outwork a terrible diet. It's just not gonna happen. I know from experience. I have a terrible diet. I eat too much chocolate and like I'm addicted. And I work out and try to do like some exercise and things like that. But I know that if I really want to like get back into my personal optimal shape, I need to cut that shit. Like, it's not going to be about just working out more. Yeah. So you're not going to outwork a terrible diet. The other thing is consistency is key. So if you work out to your max ability once or twice in a week, it's probably going to be worse than working out 20 minutes to a lower capacity, but every single day. Yeah. So these are some of the things that we talk about a lot, like within our app. It's that changing behavior is key. And we notice that in our ads, you can clearly see like when we're testing this, what resonates, and then the entire conversion funnel just completely improves. Like our user to subscriber rate, our the engagement in trial, like all these things completely improves depending on the messaging that we used. So we had an analysis recently, like our user to subscriber rate had dropped, and we had run a test that was trying to get people away from the free trial due to like iOS 13 and the fact that it could like impact trial to customer numbers and things like that. We're like, okay, let's run this test, trying to get less people on the trial and get more people to pay up front. And we ran this test, and it was really interesting, the results and things like that. But our subscriber rate was dropping a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. And then we went back and it dropped more. So it's almost like, okay, so we ran the test, it was worse than the control. So we released the control again, and it was worse than before. Like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
And then we realized that it was a little bit of our targeting. Our targeting was just, the messaging we were using in our targeting was just attracting the wrong people. So it screws up your entire funnel if you're just targeting the wrong people. It's obvious when you say it out loud, but like, it's very hard when you have disconnected teams where like performance marketing team is just strictly going like, oh, I need to look at my ROI and I need to look at my CPI. I need to look at like these key metrics, and they're not looking further down in the funnel. And then the product team is, in our case, it's literally sitting like upstairs. Like, we have an office that it's an open office, but it's got like 2 floors, despite like, it's not like separated. I don't even know how it's like a mezzanine floor.
Yeah.
And most of the product team, or some people from the product team, sit upstairs. Some people from the marketing team sit downstairs. And I find it interesting because like sometimes they're not necessarily communicating when then when we realized this and we're like, oh, okay, we need to fix this. And then now recently it's been such an improvement, having the entire team focused on like the right things and really sharing information with each other. But again, like I said, some of these things sound obvious, but for whatever reason, they're not done or they're not communicated properly. And then you could just go into this loop of like, I don't know what's happening.
The last thing I want to move on to, Saulo,
Yep.
is the other point was to refine your subscription model. One of my friends, he told me that when he moved, he's got a very popular like design app. When he moved to just a yearly option, so he stopped giving people the option for monthly, year. He's like, no, just one yearly. He saw double the conversions, obviously way more revenue. Have you guys done any, when you've done this refinement, like have you guys done any tests around this?
Yes. So I would say that like a lot of my career is based on tests around this, or at least in the last like couple of years. Personally, it's my favorite types of tests. Like conversion rate optimization to me is one of the most fun things you can spend your time on. And we've run a lot of tests. For 8Fit, we're still running tests. So like from a position perspective, like from our company perspective, we want to give people the choice, whatever plan feels right for them, right? However, that doesn't always end up being the best thing for the company.
Right.
At 8Fit, we have some tests that are live, but I can mention, so I don't have like clear results from them, but from my previous company, I remember that we had this really, really soft paywall. It was basically like the person comes in and we say like, hey, here's our app. You can pay if you'd like. If not, you can browse for free. And then you browse and then you can listen to a few things. You can play around with it. And there's really no reason to convert. And then our conversion rate was super low. And then I was like, no, let's be bullish. Like you come in, you give us your email, you sign up, paywall. And then you do like a little fade in of the X after like 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Like really, really like hard hitting paywall. Our conversion rate skyrocketed. It went crazy. So all the people that didn't convert, converted. And it was on a monthly plan. Obviously, we had a big drop off in M0 to M1. Like there was a drop off there. But then after that, it stabilized. And we were doing very well with the monthly plan. But I kept pushing, like, we need to launch a yearly plan because of the fact that I do believe that the LTV on the yearly plan will be higher. Like, we need to look at, like, if you think about it, the LTV will be higher. If you have a 45, 50% retention rate on your yearly plan, that's almost like having, like, I think it's like 85% on your monthly plan, which is insanely high. Like, Netflix has 96. Spotify has, I think, like 96, 97. So unless you're Spotify or Netflix, a monthly plan is really, really difficult. It's difficult to manage. So I kept pushing. And I remember the company was kind of like afraid that the conversion numbers were going to drop because our CAC was fine. Like everything was fine. We're seeing payback in 3 months. But I really thought that we would have higher LTV. And our our conversion rates at that point were like, well, I want to say something along the lines of like 8%. So like user to customer rate. And we did like user to customer rate was about like 8%. Then all of a sudden, everyone was going into shock. It was like, we're going to launch this. It's going to get released and it's going to drop to like 3%. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And then we launched the yearly plan, which was like half the price of the monthly plan times 12. So we launched the yearly plan and the conversion rate was completely stable. Like nothing changed. It was still like 8%. But like you said, we just started seeing a lot more cash up front. Yeah. So I think if you have, there's 2 ways to think about it. If you have an amazing product that you truly have amazing monthly engagement and retention, yes, drop your price, get more users in, and continue that monthly option. Most subscription apps have a big drop off in the first 3 months. So you're better off leveraging your entire year and fighting for that renewal once a year instead of every single month. So I would say that most companies need to leverage yearly plans. Most subscription companies need to leverage yearly plans. That's my personal favorite type of plan. From a marketer perspective. From a user perspective, I only subscribe to monthly plans.
It's funny.
That's just me.
It's like that Instagram, your whole analogy, Google, exactly. You Google versus what's on Instagram, Facebook.
I literally, but here's the thing. promotions work, discounts work.
Yeah.
I literally signed up to Calm, or I didn't sign up yet, but I'm going to. I am going to sign up to Calm, and like I've been given a bunch of discounts. I know people like there, and I've been given promotions and all that stuff. I've had free accounts before, all that stuff, and I've never like really used it. And then now it's to the point where I was like, I want to try it a little bit more. Like I want to try. I was using Headspace, and then I stopped, and then I was like, I want to try Calm again and see how it is. And I just thought about it. And then I went on the website, came back, and then downloaded the app again, etc. Then all of a sudden I got like this, I think it was a pop-up. I don't know where I saw it, but it was like 40% off. And immediately I'm like, now I have to. Like I don't have another choice. Like I have to pay for it now. So it's I'm very much I hope our consumers are not like us, because if they are like me, because if they are, then it's completely like mind-boggling, the decisions that are made, because my decisions are completely mind-boggling. But I think I only sign up to monthly stuff because I know that I'm going to cancel.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I know my behavior. I know that I'm too lazy to use these things properly.